Hi there. So it's Friday, and all the dross of the week is coming through. My body is exhausted. So is my mind. But I've been marking a lot of student work because I like to give them timely feedback. They need it. They really do. They get it verbally, but then they get an assessed version with some key points for them to, bring home. Because I think that a lot of the time it can be overwhelming actually. First of all, to present work, it's an act of bravery for these young people. They have great ideas, but they need to have dialogue, and so with my students we do that, but sometimes their peers don't always step in, or they kind of stay at a surface level, and I have to take the reins a little bit to get the discussions going. But yesterday was okay. The first two, there was a lot of discussion. The third one, people were completely silent, and I don't think they really recognised the direction of the work and the value of it. And so I was able to pin those things down and then provide a lot of feedback verbally. But it can be overwhelming. I totally get it, and I haven't forgotten what it was like for me as a student. Anyway, changing subject, you can see here that I'm wearing a woolen skirt. It's quite cold in Sydney now. The season's changing. We have mild days, which is really lovely, but the mornings tend to be cold and overnight as well. So today I'm going to do something a bit unusual. It's one of the few letters that I currently and still have from my father. It's dated... Did he date things? It must have been a few years before his death, which was in 2011. And it's written on holiday in paper, which is interesting. I could muse on that, but for now I'll just stick to the letter. It reminds me of a lot of letters of elder people in my family, including those who have passed on, and that we've retained because they try to fit so much in. And so up the top left, he's actually trying to say why he's using this hotel paper, and then he includes telephone numbers. And I believe this was the second letter I received from him when I re-established contact, under the condition that he didn't try to challenge that abuse happened in the family, and that if he did try to challenge or contradict, then I would immediately cut him off. For me, getting back in touch was to try to shrink him down to size, because I had a lot of fear as a survivor, and that word survivor gets drawn upon here in an interesting way. So, without referring to my so-called previous name, I'm just going to start with the letter. Dear, so pleased to get your card and to hear from you once again. I hear you have applied for a situation in Sydney and New South Wales. Oh, sorry, and New Zealand. That's right, that's before I got my academic appointment. I went to an interview in Wellington as well. The money in New Zealand is not as good across the board as in Oz. Let me know what sort of work it's going to be. I'm so proud of you and your achievements. Do you follow a footy side in Vic? I played some football with the Collingwood Footy Club as a 17-year-old. I was not a champion player, but it took a lot of champion to beat me. Okay. Keep in touch with my sister Wendy and her son, Chris. Auntie Sheila died a horrible death, and I went to her funeral near Lilydale, where my family lived once. Out of the family, the O'Briens, there are only 3 of us left, and I'm the eldest survivor just now. I've had a few serious medical problems, including terminal cancer 14 years ago. This coming October, or 6 months ago, I had severe blood poisoning and a nasty blood clot in my right leg. My vascular system is in good order, so it is growing new veins to go around the problem. This should be okay by then. I am assuming October. I'm assuming I was to see him, so that would put it around 2006. Yeah, 20 years ago. Oh my God, I could have been knocked off by those three things, but with my general good health and God's help, I've survived once more. I'm the only... His writing can be hard to read. Fella, I'm only on a blood thinner for the affected areas. Please include your telephone number. Tell me all the diversion of the new veins completes the detour of the blocked one. Amazing what a healthy body can do. You may know a bit about this with your knowledge through your university education. I'm a survivor, and so are you. Uncle Barry is very depressed about the loss of his right arm. He should be a realist about this. It is a problem, but you have to accept what your situation is and get on with your life. Here is his address in Queensland and telephone number. If you would like to drop him a line or ring him. He is the only brother I've got left. Or you could call on him if you go to Queensland. He would welcome you, and so would Dot, his wife. I'm not bald yet. The hair is black with touches of silver on the sides. 80 kilos, was 124, and I've changed my lifestyle. Blood pressure 127/70, heart rate good. I'm very happy now, and you're a big part of it. Tracy and I were great mates. Are great mates. She lives at York, WA. Her phone number is, as if I didn't already have it. Keep in touch with her, as if I wasn't. If anything happens to me, mate, remember I love you, and time has not cooled that. We've had some good times together as a family, and I regret the breakup deeply and apologise for my part of it. Then he mentions my brother has taken off to the UK. His visa came through. He did not contact Tracy or myself. I hope all goes well with him, and God bless him in a strange land. I'm friendly with him, but will miss him as your mum will. I've held grudges with Josephine. Or maybe he missed out the negative. I hold no grudges with Josephine, that was my mum, either, and love you all very much. Please write ASAP. Come and see me when you come over. You're very welcome. Valtrod is in good health and safe. Sends her best regards to you. Love to you. God bless, Dad. Now that was hard to read, but up the top he says, next to the hotel or motel logo, Holiday Inn, we went a few days at Holiday Inn. Have not had holidays for a year or more, but I will be looking forward to travel when my leg is right again, and will visit you, your dad. That didn't actually happen. Oh, the date is there, the 21st of the 9th, '06. So I visited him. That was my one visit, I believe, before he had a very serious health crisis and over about 6 weeks was slowly dying. But that was in 2011. So 2006, towards the, September or whatnot, it was 5 years before his death. And one of the reasons why I got in touch, besides wanting to sort of shrink him down to size, had to do with accepting that all these things that were happening with aging would lead eventually to his mortality, and that I needed to be able to, I guess, preempt what had been maybe 15 years of absolute separation and no contact. Because I was hearing about this secondhand, all these things that he mentions in the letter, and I thought, I don't want to be looking over a grave site, as someone's being buried. In the end, he had a cremation, not being able to process everything. Basically, when I disclosed, and as a result of discussion within the family, the great majority of us cut contact with him, and I got to witness some of my siblings struggling with what was going on when he was dying. And so for me, it was a self-protective thing, I guess. Now, the thing is, as a survivor and having your father as the perpetrator, it's not like that you don't have mixed feelings, especially when some of what happened was kind of disguised as love. And I think that this needs to be heard by people in the family that don't get what I'm getting at. And that just see me as an extremist or whatever. Well, they don't really see me, or in this case, listen carefully. But let's say there was nothing like me saying it didn't happen, right? In re-encountering him. It was very conditioned. Somewhere is a letter, the first letter that sparked off the contact, managed contact, because I would only allow initially letters and the occasional phone call. There was one time he called me where he started to verge on the subject of the abuse, and I had to cut him short. I found that overwhelming, but I guess my reapproach was, in a sense, an attempt at containment and I wouldn't say reconciliation, because I've never really reconciled. When he was dying, one of my elder sisters said, go in there, you go in there and demand an apology. And I just couldn't. To be honest, I was taking Valium. And I was trying to stay calm, because when you're with someone who's unwell and, like basically dying, you don't want to stress them. And maybe I just clicked into that role, but I put aside everything. And it's not that I didn't have the feelings. The Valium was there to sort of keep them under control. But what would extracting an apology mean in that context? My father was someone of great faith, and that helped him at the end as well, really noticeably. When the priest, the Filipino priest, was giving him their last rites, his eyes changed colour, and he really just relaxed into acceptance. I don't have that faith. Sorry, Dad. It's just something I can't embody. But the thing is, Catholicism also encloses a logic of sacrifice, and that includes of quote-unquote sons. That includes in its institutional workings where abuse happens, but also its warped conceptions of love. There's a lot more that could be said on that, but anyway, I'm just contemplating or recontemplating this letter from 2006.